Hello and welcome to Adventures in Miniature. Today we're going to make an NDAK Grenadier battle squad. I've been looking forward to doing these because they've got lots of interesting bits and pieces on them. I started by taking off the head, which I'm going to save for later. I used some Death Corpse drab for the jacket. And I'm trying to do these all in batches, so I'm going to start with the jacket, then I'll move on to the pants, and then the equipment pack. So I started with some Mechanicus grey for the pants, and I'm going to come back with a lighter grey later to dry brush onto it. Took out a bit of black. And now we're going to do the gun and the boots. So with some of the pre-assembled models, it's a little bit tricky to get in there and get all those little details. So where I can, I'm going to start getting more kits. Getting right into those little crevices. And now we're doing the boots. Moved on to some dark stone, which was a nice grey brownish colour, to do some of the equipment pouches. I used a light brown to do the kit bag, and that was leather brown from Army Painter. And we're going to go back and do some highlighting on that with the Xandri dust later. After this, I for some reason decided it was time to do some basing, so I mixed up a little bit of grout, put that on the base, and stuck some broken bits of foam in there to look like concrete slabs. Then I moved on using some leather brown to paint the little equipment straps and the webbing, and a little bit of black for the belt. I used some Xandri dust to do the roll on top of his backpack, with some Rhinox hide to do the straps. I was going to originally do a camouflage pattern, but once I got it done I decided against it. I used some more Death Corpse drab to do the canteen, and then for the drum magazine I went with Army Green. Then I moved on to do some dry brushing with some lead belcher to do the guns and all the other metallic parts. For the hands, I started out with Bugman's Glow for the base, then I put a small layer of Cadian Flesh Tone on top with Kisliev Flesh for the highlight. After that I decided to do the epaulets, and they started out being based in black, and then I went over them with a bit of silver later on. So now it's time for the washes. This is where the model really starts to feel like it's coming together. I used some Nuln oil to do most of the darker spots and the metallic parts. Then I used a green camo shade for the jacket. And I used a sepia tone to do most of the equipment. After the washes have dried, it's time to do some dry brushing, so I used a lighter grey and a lighter green to do the uniform. This helped bring out a little bit more detail and create a sense of wear on the uniform. I think I had the most fun doing this on the equipment, because you can really see it picking out the detail. After that was done, it was time to start adding some dirt and grime, so I took 3 shades of brown and layered them onto the model with my dry brush. Started doing it in areas where I thought dirt would build up, like the knees and the elbows and just under the equipment. Started out with a dark brown and worked my way up to a lighter brown. I wanted to make it look like the dirt was drying on the uniforms and the equipment, and that the troops had been out there for a long time. Back to doing bases, so I got some PVA glue and put it on some spots around the base to try and create a bit more texture. I spread the PVA glue around a few spots on the bases, and then I used some flock that I've mixed up from some green flock mixed with a few different sizes of gravel to help add a little bit more variety. After that, it's all getting painted black, and then I'm going to go over the ground with some dark brown and highlight it with some Xandri dust. Right, I find faces really hard to do, so I've tried a few different things, and this time I tried doing the whites of the eyes first and then building up the base colors around those, and that made it a lot easier to get the whites of the eyes. Started the same way as I did with the hands. I used Bugman's Glow and then built up to lighter flesh tones after that, and then I put a wash on it to bring out some detail. I used some Xandri dust to do the back of the hair, and for the chin strap I used an oak brown. Right, home stretch now. So we're going to stick the head onto the body, and then it's time to finish up the basing. Put some static grass down, and after that we used a little bit of mud texture just to add a little bit more to the base. Once that was finished, I put down some snow texture and spread that around on the base, trying to get it to build up in some areas. I was trying to get some of the snow texture to build up in some of the corners to look like the wind had blown it in there and it had settled. Right, so that's us done. I think it's turned out fairly well. I've learnt a lot doing this. Tried a few new experiments. I had a lot of fun making these. I think the bases turned out fairly well. I'm still working on doing faces. Hopefully I'm going to get better as I make more of these. Overall, I had a really good time making this project. Painting the miniatures is a lot of fun, and it's really satisfying once you start to see it come together. I hope you guys enjoyed watching this. It was a lot of fun to make. Hopefully I'm going to make a few more of these as time goes by. If you did enjoy it, please let me know in the comments, and hopefully I'll be able to make some more. Bye!